All this going on prompts us to bring in our panel this morning. First of all, checking in from the Newsmax newsroom, Javier Manjarres, managing editor of the Shark Tank political blog. And center screen here, Rabin-Havt, the host of The Agenda and former advisor to Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid. Ari, the president with a national address, and we're getting word that apparently he will be dealing with congressional leaders to consult them on the War Powers Act. It's interesting, a juxtaposition. The same president who said he had a pen and phone and would act on immigration now seems to be stepping back on that issue and then stepping to consult Congress when it comes to dealing with ISIS. Is this a welcome sign, Javier?
Welcome sign for who? Look, we expected President Obama to do this. First of all, as far as his lack of sleep, maybe he should start counting illegal immigrants to help him sleep at night. But as far as this, it's in his purview to act as commander-in-chief. He doesn't need to go to the Congress. It's a good show of good faith. But he can do whatever he wants up until 60 days, and after that, again, he would need congressional approval to move forward with any military action he seems fit to impose over and against ISIS. But let me just say one thing: is that this military plan he looks to announce on Wednesday. The New York Times reported last night that it's going to be a three-phase approach. Now, again, he needs to be very specific and careful with saying and describing what he means by boots on the ground. The second phase of this approach is going to be putting military advisors on the ground to help these Kurds and the Iraqi military combat ISIS. So I'd like to see what he's going to say to the Congress on what his course of action is if his military phase, his three-phase approach to ISIS is in fact going to be delivered on Wednesday.
Ari, I guess it was that great military man from Great Britain, the Duke of Wellington, who advised to be very careful and not paint too detailed a picture of the battlefield for your enemy. Do you believe President Obama can strike the balance between enlightening the American people but not spelling out chapter and verse of the strategy that will be utilized against ISIS?
I think he can. I think he can go to Congress, which he should do. He should consult congressional leaders. They have a role to play here. And he should ask them for a War Powers Act authorization. So then there is knowledge that we are in this for longer than 60 days, that this could be a longer campaign. And I think being honest with the American people about that and forthright is important. At the same time, he's obviously not going to put up battle plans on the wall and say we'll be here, here, and here. So I think he can strike that balance, JD.
Yeah, but he's also what he's going to do eventually is if there's any military setbacks or not, he's going to announce it. Hey, like he did a couple weeks back, he announced that there was a military operation, a secret special ops operation that failed to bring home the now murdered journalist Foley. Again, what else is he going to do? This is what we expect from the president.
Whether it is the president directly or not, Ari, there is a concern that there are those representing the administration who are a little leak happy when it comes to issues of national security. It's nothing new. Presidents of both parties have dealt with this. But can this president rally the American people to a united response given the challenges, to put it euphemistically, he has faced over the past few months?
Well, I think Washington, D.C. is leak happy, JD. I think you know that. This is a city that loves to leak and people who love to show how important they are, and that's a disease that implicates people across the political spectrum. Look, I think the president has to make a case. He not only has to make a case to conservatives in Congress, he's got to make a case to progressives who, frankly, are also weary about foreign intervention at this point. And he's got to make a strong case to his own base that this is something that needs to be done.
Javier, the president emphasized that the Wednesday televised address will not include an announcement of any additional boots on the ground. Is that a smart thing from the commander-in-chief?
Well, look, like I said, phase 2 of this supposed plan he's going to put out against ISIS involves advisors and training of the Kurds and the Iraqi military. Now, I don't know what he plans on doing, what he means by that. Are they going to send internet tutorials on how to kill Islamic Muslim terrorists in the Middle East or ISIS? I don't know how he's not going to do it without putting boots on the ground. Again, boots on the ground, does it mean advisors that aren't going to be armed with any kind of weapons. I mean, I don't understand what he means by it, but he's got to be very careful how he expresses that, because American people are very war weary, and so they don't want actually combat troops on the ground. But again, when you're putting advisors and trainers on the ground, that's exactly what you're doing. You're putting boots on the ground.
Gentlemen, President Obama turned his attention to answer some questions about going golfing after that brief statement he issued during his vacation time on the beheading of journalist James Foley. This occurred yesterday on NBC's Meet the Press. Let's listen to the exchange, then I'd like to get your reaction to it.
You know, it is always a challenge when you're supposed to be on vacation. Because you're followed everywhere, and part of what I'd love is a vacation from
you want us to the
press, and because
the president goes on to say he should have anticipated the optics of going golfing so quickly after his announcement, and offered a mea culpa of sorts. There's never a good way to handle this, but Ari, in addressing it yesterday, does the president put the golfing behind him in terms of looking ahead to dealing with ISIS and other matters of concern?
I think this is one of those things that comes up in Washington, D.C. over and over and over again. If there's a Democratic president, Republicans complain about what they're doing in their leisure time. If there's a Republican president, Democrats complain about what they're doing in their leisure time. Frankly, I care about what the president does, not that he takes a few hours off.
All right, Marco Rubio from the other side of the aisle, the junior senator from Florida, weighed in on the president's foreign policy. Let's listen to what Senator Rubio had to say.
But I believe this president has committed presidential malpractice in his foreign policy. And I think that Exhibit A is what he's done with the Middle East. He ran for office under the notion that our national interest in the Middle East was to disengage as quickly as possible and disentangle from the region. And that has been chaotic. It has led to a series of policy pronouncements and words that he's evicted, whether it's saying that the ISIL was the JV, whether it's setting red lines that weren't enforced. All these things have been dramatically counterproductive to our foreign policy, and I think have created some generational and reputational damage to the United States of great significance.
Ari, presidential malpractice. Your take on Senator Rubio's assessment of President Obama's stewardship?
Was Senator Rubio, I mean, did I expect it to be a good assessment when he's considering his own run for the Oval Office? No, I mean, I think it's Republicans sniping at a Democratic president. That's what I think that was. And look, I think we will see what the president's plan is. He will lay it out, and he will have to convince not only Republicans, but progressives and Democrats that it's the right thing to do.
Javier, is it just playing politics?
Listen, Rubio is absolutely right. President Obama has single-handedly undermined the United States around the world. He has compromised American exceptionalism and military might to our enemies. Instead of instilling fear in them, he's instilled the confidence that they need to continue the cowardly acts. Simply put, that's it.
About a minute and a half remains. Ari, what are you expecting from the president's address on Wednesday?
I'm expecting him to explain, first off, why we should be there and laying out a clear case as to why this is in the American people's interest to be over there fighting this war. I think second, I expect an explanation of what victory looks like. And I think that's really important because I think we've gotten into too many conflicts without understanding what victory looks like and therefore are stuck for intractable lengths of time.
Well, it's interesting, Ari, you mentioned victory. Javier, if I'm not mistaken, this president in previous public utterances has been loath to talk about clear victories. About a minute remains.
Yeah, because he knows we've lost that war in the Middle East against Islamic terrorism. His ineffective and weak foreign policy has lost us this war. It's going to take a new president, a more hawkish president on foreign policy to get us out of this rut. Maybe you know what he should do on Wednesday? Maybe he should explain to the American people how he's dropped the ball and why ISIS is where it is now. Why are they so emboldened? Why are they such a military and terrorist threat to the world?
Gentlemen, we will have to leave it there. Ari Rabin-Havt, the former advisor to Harry Reid, and Javier Manjarres, blogger extraordinaire at the Shark Tank political blog. We both appreciate the input you offer from both sides of the political aisle. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Well, you heard what Ari and Javier have to say. What's your take? What do you think the president should say on Wednesday night? Why don't you tweet me your comments at NewsmaxTV, hashtag America's Forum. There's also newsmaxtv.com/comment, and don't forget Facebook.